Okay, you're live.
Welcome, everyone. This is the September 22nd, 2020 Portage la Prairie School Division Trustee Meeting. I want to first of all acknowledge that schools in our division are located on Treaty 1 land, as well as the traditional territory of the Ojibwe, Dakota, Cree, and Anishinaabe peoples, and the homeland of the Métis Nation. Before we get into the regular part of the meeting, again, I would just like to take a minute or two to thank all of our staff for the great job that they have been doing. We're into the second week of school. Things have been going quite well. A couple of kids that I've run into are so happy to be back at school. They just think it's great that they can be there with their friends and teachers. And a lot of time and effort and work went into getting it ready so that we could have kids safely. And we got our fingers crossed that it will continue to be safe, because we can't predict what's going to happen. We can only do the best that we can. So again, thank you, and thank you again to our administration, the principals, vice principals, our superintendent, assistant superintendent, and everybody here at the office. We have more people in attendance in the boardroom tonight. We even have the press here tonight. Joshua, thank you for coming. So I'm just going to run through who is here and who isn't, and we are socially distant. So Marie McClanahan is here. Louis Luna is coming in by distance. Todd, our superintendent, is here. Rochelle Rands is coming in distantly. Helen Hogarth is here. Penny Verway is here. Debbie Satulski is coming in via, what are we doing, Google. Pam Garnham is here. Tracy Ashen is coming in by Google. Yvette Cuthbert is here. Shauna Lee Leslie is here. Jonathan Hyman is coming in by Google. And I'm Rod Brownlee, chair of the board.
Right.
Oh, did I miss Murray?
No.
Hi. Hey,
Sorry.
if you pay attention, then things will be all right. I know I messed you up, Shauna Lee, because I introduced Joshua first. You didn't know what was going on. Yeah. All right. Okay, Pam, would you take us in, please?
9/19/20, that the agenda for the meeting of September 22nd, 2020 be approved.
Moved by Debbie Satulski, seconded by Penny Verway. All in favor? Carried.
Yes. 9/20/20, that the minutes of the regular meeting of September 8th, 2020 be approved.
Moved by Tracy Asham, because I heard your name or your voice just a minute ago. Seconded by Louis Luna. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
9/21/20, that the following teachers be employed on limited term teacher general contracts. Crystal Drain, 100%, September 8th, 2020 to June 30th, 2021. Colin Yates, 100%, September 2nd, 2020 to June 30th, 2021.
Moved by Debbie Satulski, seconded by Yvette Cuthbert. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
9/22/20, that the following accounts be approved. August 2020 accounts payable, $1,363,813.82, and August 2020 net payroll, $1,437,897.36, for a total of $2,801,731.18.
Moved by Murray McClanahan, seconded by Helen Hogarth. All in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Okay, we have two
To rise
rising
and report.
reports. Motion. 9/15/20, that the slate of officers and committee members be approved. Moved by Penny
Okay.
Verway, seconded by Shauna Lee Leslie.
All in favor? Carried.
And 9/16/20, the Myers Norris Penny LLP be appointed for auditors for the 2020-2021 fiscal year. Moved by Yvette Cuthbert, seconded by Shauna Lee Leslie.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Okay, we move to the superintendent's department. Pam.
Okay, so I have 2 items on there, and mine are on there because our next board meeting are after these events have happened. So on Tuesday, October 6th, and we're having a PD day on Tuesday. I just want the public to know, because we booked this person about 2.5 years ago when it was announced that there was going to be a federal election, provincial election on this day. So, and schools would have to have a PD day on this day. So we booked this presenter, Shelley Moore. So we had to keep the date because we couldn't get her any other days. So we just decided to keep it on the Tuesday. So we're going to try the first time in Portage Prairie School Division history to have a PD on a Tuesday. So Shelley Moore is coming to us via Zoom from Vancouver, and she is a teacher, a researcher, a speaker, and a storyteller who has worked with school districts and communities and organizations throughout Canada and the United States. Shelley focuses on inclusion, recovery of learning, and adaptations for students. She a very well-known speaker and presenter, and we're very excited that all of our staff are going to see her. So so that will be on October 6th. And so what will be happening, how we're going to be setting it up, is that she will present through Zoom, and each school will set up their teachers in their buildings. So she will present to them, and then there'll be breakout rooms and activities to the day when she's presenting. So she'll probably present for 2 hours in the morning, 2 hours in the afternoon, and then in the intermittent time, she will have activities and collaboration for our teachers to do during that day. So it's a very exciting day. We've been looking forward to this for 2 years. My second item is also it's on September 30th, and it's Orange Shirt Day, and we recognize this every year. And Jill Fast, our Indigenous Academic Achievement Coordinator, has organized many great activities for our schools in the division. So on September 30th, schools from across the division will recognize Orange Shirt Day. It's been declared Orange Shirt Day annually in recognition of the harm the residential school system did to the children's sense of self-esteem and well-being, and the affirmation of our commitment to ensure that everyone around us matters, every child matters. So what Jill is going to do this year, because of the physical distancing, she's going to do some virtual stuff on YouTube. So she's going to go through the PCI Channel 1, and she's going to have live book readings. So this year she's telling me she will be reading age-appropriate books for Orange Shirt Day through the live video feed, and she'll be using Google Meets, and she'll share links with teachers and log in and watch her read the book to the class. So she has many activities planned, and she's also going to do something exciting this year too. She's going to do some land-based teaching with some of the schools as well. So I've already told Joshua that he can contact Jill, because I think she should be interviewing her about Orange Shirt Day, because she does a lot of work for this, for our division, for Orange Shirt Day, and it's just it's nice to see. So some of the books that she's recommended and that she's going to be reading are When We're Alone, Stolen Words, Sugar Falls, The Secret Path, I'm Not a Number, and When I Was 8 are some of the ones that she's going to read live. So nice, exciting time.
Thank you, Pam. Are there any questions for Pam? I have one. What's land-based?
So land-based learning is when you're basically learning about the resources that you have in your environment, and you learn how they're affected by different things and how you can use the resources in your environment. So it's again, she is going. I don't have the sheet on what the grades that she's going to do the land-based learning with. I don't have that information from her, but once she's done, I thought maybe she could come in virtually and present to us about the different activities that she did in September and October, so that you could hear more about them.
Good, I learned something tonight.
Okay.
I have a
That's
question about the
Yeah.
Shelley Moore and whether trustees can still.
Yeah, well, we'll have a Zoom link, so if you want to set up here, we can set something up here for you, or we can send it to you. I'll just have to contact her and just let her know that our board will be coming in as well. So.
Any other questions for Pam? Rochelle, I see that you have nothing on the agenda, but I do have a question, and I hope I'm not putting you on the spot too much. The breakfast program, how is it going starting the year?
Okay. Here I am. Can you see me?
Yep.
So yes, we just started with getting the breakfast program set up. What we're looking at is rather than having students come to a central location and you know how they would usually come to the counseling center, they might come to the family room. We are actually delivering breakfast to classrooms. So we have different ways that we're doing that in each school, where we might have, say, little bags of cereal, we might have granola bars, pre-packaged items right now that students would have access to. And then in some schools, we've already started maybe cutting up some oranges or fresh fruit. And then what the plan is the classroom teacher then is given a bowl of fruit and some gloves, and then he or she will distribute to the students that want it on their desk. So it looks a little different, but we're still finding ways to make sure that kids who want to have breakfast are able to do so.
Thank you, Rochelle. I know I put you on the spot with that.
Can I ask about
All good.
the Dino? Have you found anything more about anything with Dinos and or Golden, whoever those
Golden
people?
West.
Golden West?
Actually, we talked about it in our outreach meeting a couple of weeks ago, and one of our outreach facilitators is going to connect with them and see if that's something that we can do again this year, because we'd love to have that event happen for us. We used a lot of our supplies over the summer for our food campers, and so we're looking to replenish and to continue to be able to provide for students.
We have had such good community support that it'd be nice if we could see that continue.
Mine's riding around the trunk of my car.
Anything else for Rochelle? Okay, Todd.
Okay, so my first item is just a COVID-19 update as it pertains to our schools. And Rod, just as you mentioned, we've had a very successful start implementing a lot of new routines and protocols, everything from how students enter to leave the buildings to how guests log in and out, our cleaning changes to transportation, and revisions to some of our pickup and drop off for parents to control traffic flow, given that fewer students are riding buses. So lots of changes, and I just want to report that our schools have just done an outstanding job, and they've received a lot of cooperation from parents. And I think the word that we've used a lot this year has been thank you for your patience, and we hope that can continue, because we know that everything that's it takes to keep our cohorts isolated and our schools safe, it's changed everyone's routine. So I just want to say thank you to all the teachers, because one of the things that we are certainly noticing is there's a tremendous amount of duty and responsibility that has been added. So we're busy. They're very busy. The days are full. Controlling everything from washroom movement to kids coming in, going in and out of the building, lunchtime, and just our EAs and teachers have had to take on extra responsibilities that we haven't had to do in years past, because we've had more freedom to mix and move in our buildings. So I just want to thank everyone for all their patience and hard work that's gone into it. Questions are continuing to come in from parents, and I would encourage you to continue to reach out to your school principal, for your children's school principal, if you have specific questions. We've communicated a lot of our information through our website and our social media, so continue to stay connected to those different supports for the latest information. And we're going to continue to update. And then if you have specific health-related questions, we aren't the experts in that area, so we always advise that they reach out to Health Links or to their physician. They had some questions about specifics about COVID. And so that's really just a brief update. But so far, we're pleased with the way things are going, and we're hoping that they can continue.
Any questions? Seeing none? Next.
Okay, so as widely reported in the media and through our own communications to families, last week we had an incident on the 16th of September that involved a hold and secure being implemented in the Portage Collegiate Institute, and our colleagues that work with us through the RCMP, our school liaison officer, Constable Kilau, was able to coordinate a response. And although this was a very unfortunate incident where we had an anonymous caller contact the school and use some very threatening language, the RCMP responded very professionally and immediately sprung into action. And we implemented the hold and secure, and they investigated and determined that there was no imminent threat to students or staff, and it did involve having to have added RCMP officers, including a special dog canine unit, come out to ensure that there was no threat. And by about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, the hold and secure was released, and students were allowed to go home at that time. And once again, our staff, our administration, and PCI handled it very well. Our students handled it extremely well. It was tense. I know parents were concerned, and then seeing images of police officers with weapons at a school is a frightening thing to see. But we just want to reassure the public that the systems that are practiced and the drills that we run worked really well. And fortunately, nothing bad came out. It's still an active investigation. They are still searching for the culprits involved. No arrests were made, as was reported in the RCMP report. We did have some individuals brought in for questioning that helped the RCMP determine that there wasn't any imminent risk. But just wanted to share that and thank everyone involved to make sure that the incident was handled so well.
I think there's only one thing, Todd. I think that the threat came into the RCMP.
It did. Yeah. So the threat was the RCMP detachment was contacted by the individuals who had made this bogus claim, and then they immediately contacted the officer who happened to be on site for an unrelated matter, and then they implemented the hold and secure.
Are there any questions about that from anybody? Seeing none, on we go.
Okay, so one of the things that's come up and has also been reported quite widely is information that's come out from public health and in some of the school divisions across the province who have unfortunately had cases of COVID-19 where there's been an outbreak in the school or it's been reported. And I just want to point out that the communication related to cases, should they develop in our division, will come from public health. So public health officials will be in contact with our principals should a case develop in one of our schools, and it will be through public health that the information is relayed. And right now we're finding that there is a very delicate balance between being transparent but also protecting the rights of staff and students or whoever the individual who may have come down with COVID-19. So it's important that our public, again, exercises that same patience and restraint and understands that we're not going to be the ones responsible for releasing the information. We will take our direction from public health, and we will share any information. First of all, it will come from them, and then any subsequent information that relates to routines or remote learning or any of the changes that have to be made in order to address the outbreak will happen through coordination through our principals. But we want to be respectful of people's privacy, and there's no shaming. And I think Dr. Rusin has made that really clear in his message from the beginning that we don't want to be shaming individuals or groups or anyone. It's unfortunate when someone gets this, and we want to be respectful and we'll share what we can to a point, but we also have to be mindful of people's privacy and their rights regarding that. So it's important that we keep that in mind. Our hope is that we never have to be dealing with this, but I think the reality is that we're going to be ready should a case happen in our school division.
that's a really good point, the fact that we're doing the best we can and we're following public health directives, and public health will deal with any problems that happen to come up that way. And it's important that everybody understands that.
Those are my items.
Any questions, Todd? Okay. Other business? No other business. Information items, we've got emailed copies from the minister. Can't say that. And from School Board Association. And there was something mailed out, I believe, to everybody when I took a teacher booklet. And we've got the ribbon cutting at North Memorial School, an upcoming event that's on the 25th, the playground. And then on the 9th, we hope to have the ribbon cutting for the child care building that is beside North Memorial School. The board meetings are listed, and again, we'll take a look probably at our next meeting about that December 22nd. We'll see where we are with that. Because it was an inaugural meeting, we don't have any presenters, but we do have Joshua Jackson from Seafry.
Don't worry, I'm not presenting.
We'll have to set that up sometime. Josh, is there anybody you want to talk to?
Yeah, I did this. Yeah, Todd.
Sure.
Okay, so we will go out. And then you two can go and do your talking. So we'll take a 5-minute break.
No delegation.
Yeah.
Lies.